Welcome to the Standing O Podcast,
a Steve and Adam comedy project.
We know a little about most things and a lot about nothing.
What's your favorite thing about going to the grocery store?
It being over.
Oh, really? You don't enjoy it?
I most of the time don't enjoy. I enjoy the grocery store the same way I enjoy laundry and working out. I don't have to do that for a bit. As soon as it's over, type of thing.
Ooh, see, I feel like it takes a lot to build out the courage for me to go.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm very structured. It's pretty much every Sunday. Occasionally, if I got nothing going on Friday night or Saturday night, Friday night trip to Aldi is top tier. It's fantastic. Me and Sarah make a meal out of it.
You ever forgotten a quarter when you go?
No, I always have quarters. Me and Sarah get into it over this. And because
I love the structure. I love the model.
I yelled at her to she never has quarters, and even though it would be in her car, so I wouldn't put quarters in her car. And she's like, "No, you're the one who forgets it." I'm like, "Whoever's car it is has quarters." I'm like, "I don't have quarters in my pocket like little kid always having toys and shit on them." Like, if it's your car, have the quarters. She doesn't have quarters in her car, and she doesn't have at any one time you can go in her car and not find a single napkin, tissue, anything.
Oh, yeah. I always have a good collection of napkins in the glove box.
Exactly.
Always.
Well, glove box,
blow your
the
nose,
cup holder,
anything.
Exactly. We were driving home from somewhere.
You have a poopy scare?
You have a poopy scare. We're driving home from somewhere, and I forget where it was. I was either drunk or hungover, which I am most times.
Yeah, that's a crapshoot.
I'm in one of those two windows. I'd say 66% of my life. And my nose was just running, and I'm looking around, and I was livid, and it was a 35-minute drive. I forget where we were, but I was just what am I going to do with this? I just took off my shirt and blew my nose in my shirt.
See, in dire needs, I'll use the inside of the shirt on the stomach. If there's
exactly.
nothing
and it
else.
was one of those situations, but I'm this thing's going to be half my brain's going to come out with this. This is going to be gnarly. And,
yeah, that's rough.
I was just what kind of life do you live? And she is a very clean eater, and plus she doesn't eat in her car, and she's always saying I'm a messy eater, which there's probably something to that. But I was what kind of, to never have a napkin or tissue in your car? That is wild.
Blasphemous.
That is absolutely
blasphemous.
I mean, besides dating me, it's probably the worst thing she does. I would say. Really irresponsible stuff going on there. She needs to get it together. But she doesn't listen to this.
I've gotten really into, I've always done this, but if I am in the car for an extended period of time, I'm starting to get really into the music. I start singing big time. And there was one day I was at a stoplight, and you would think I was putting on a performance because it was a boy and a girl song. It was by the...
Who was singing the boy part?
I was doing both.
Oh.
I was doing the boy and the girl.
I was implying that you were only doing the girl because you're a girl. But doesn't matter.
Good one. And I was at a stoplight, and I looked left, and there was 3 people in the car, all about the same age as us, and they were just cracking up, laughing at me. And, I don't know if I felt that defeated in a long time.
That's tough.
It was pretty tough because I was
I would have expected you to just think that was funny and laugh it off.
I did.
Do you remember in high school, this is just you and the car story. In high school, when you called me crying, laughing, hardest I've ever heard you laugh, just inconsolable, not English. And it was because you saw a guy that was walking his dog, and the dog started to poop, and you honked at it while the poop was halfway out, and the dog sucked it back up, barked, and ran away. And you were describing the look on the guy's face when he's why? He's out probably... It's on the way to school in high school, so it's probably, 7 a.m. He's tired. He just wants to get the dog to poop and then go back inside and get ready for work or leave for work. He's probably late or something, or go back to bed. And it's a cold, fall-ish winter morning.
I want to say it was the winter.
Yeah.
So here, let me create some imagery for you. So every day we would take the same way we cut through that neighborhood on...
leading up to Duchenne?
Yeah, just leading up. I think it was Duchenne Drive or something. We went the same way, and we were really into the people I was driving to school with at the time. We were really into honking and waving at everyone. And there was this one time we were stopped at a stop sign 3 or 4 feet away from this guy and his dog and decided to honk. And while we honked, we saw that the dog was mid poop. And like, so I was like 5 or 6 feet away from this happening.
I thought it was just a drive-by type thing.
No, we were stopped and we were so close to him. It's like I saw it happen. The dog got so started barking, and I can't remember if I think the dog was on a leash, but I think like started pulling him away, like acting crazy. And I think at that point I had lost it.
Yeah.
Like
I remember we were laughing about it, and Mr. Durso was like, you know, like when two kids are laughing that hard at something, they're like, what's going on? You know, thinking hood rat shit or something. And then you laughing again that hard, trying to explain the story, and him starting to laugh that hard.
It doesn't even seem possible.
I know. And I don't know if he thought it was that funny, how hard you and me were laughing at it, like, or what the deal was there. But I mean, that story, it lives on with a lot of people, I think, because then you told it to everyone at lunch, and I mean the table was going wild. It's just a great story.
I'd love to talk to a veterinarian about, like, is this possible, or like, did I witness some sort of miracle,
or was it like, and how far can it go? This might be a little gross, but you know, like in Big Daddy, when the spit goes down and pulls it back up, could a dog do that with poop, you know? How far down could it get it?
So I suggest everybody
try to scare your dog while it's pooping.
Everybody get in your cars, start driving around, hand on the horn.
See,
if you see a dog
don't
ready
do it to strangers, it's easier to get your own dog to poop. You can schedule your life around it.
I was hoping if this ever went viral, we would have just people honking at dogs all over the world.
That's true. Yeah, we got.
Maybe that'd be harmful. I don't think we want that.
Yeah, let's first talk to a vet.
I take that back.
If it's harmful.
And also, is it possible, or did I witness a miracle?
I'm sure it's
That's
possible.
what I want to know.
I feel like.
Do you think you could do that?
I mean, I couldn't, but I don't.
You don't have cars honking at you often while you're pooping.
True. If I was being honked at and I was on a leash and I don't know, stranger things have happened. But if I'm at that point in my life, then maybe I can.
If somebody does something as simple as like knock on the door when I'm in the bathroom, I'm just like I'm not expecting that.
Yeah,
So I couldn't
you get
imagine a
startled.
car honking 5 feet away from me.
But also, you're a dog in this scenario, and you're pooping next to a busy road.
Yeah, they're probably kind of used to that.
So that's already,
yeah,
I would hope, out of your comfort zone for you, you know. But who knows, honestly. I don't know how often you poop by busy roads. Probably more than most people, but still not that much. Sarah started to notice, and you know I've been doing this for years. I mispronounce so many things.
I was just telling Angie that that's what Sam does all the time.
Yeah, Sam calls people by the wrong name, which is really funny. It's a really funny thing to do. I mispronounce most words, sometimes for comedy. I play it up
You've
as
always done that
all
for
the
comedy.
time for comedy, but then no one knows if I actually know how to say the words right, you know? So that, because like I am so bad at like English and reading comprehension and all that stuff, and so like I very frequently say things. The other day I said it's cosplay, right? Cosplay, like cosplay. I said cosplay, and David said, "Are you saying cosplay because you think it's funny, or because you don't know that stands for like costume play?" I'm like, the second one. He's like, "Thank you for your honesty." But yeah, so, and you remember I used to do that when we'd go to the Blues games?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, yeah, D'Agostini passed it to Bakes. And it's like, it's D'Agostini and Bacchus. Or Petrangelo.
You would do it the whole game.
I know, and we had those, like, we were in Marquardt seats, so they were like season ticket holders. So, like, the guy next to us, I felt like was always the same guy. And just being a season ticket holder, sitting next to someone who mispronounces every single one of the names, and I'd talk about it like I knew what I was talking about, and
throws popcorn every time we score a goal.
Was so funny.
Explain that story.
We scored, and of course everybody jumps up, and you just a handful of popcorn hit me in the face with it. And it fell, and it was like a slow motion, like falling. And the guy in front of us is sitting, like leaning forward, and like when you're wearing jeans, how like it'll stick out so you can see right down the butt, right down the business, and just a single piece of popcorn fell, landed in there perfectly.
Right by his plumber crack.
I know. It was so funny because we're like, he's going to get home.
I didn't even have popcorn.
His pants and find popcorn. That's going to be funny. Oh my God.
I hope like there wasn't a thing that like this guy was on like a diet and he got home and like his wife took it, he like took his pants off, like his wife found a piece of popcorn.
You said you were clean. You said you were done with that.
Look at my credit card bill. You could have used cash, Bill. You could have used cash.
You could have had someone buy it for you. You've done that before.
Bill, you've done it all over the years. I cannot keep you away from it.
You just can't get clean. They're decent sunglasses. They're like anywhere between like 40 and 60, depending on the ones you get. But like, I mean, it's not like they're like Ray-Bans, but they're also not like bullshit sunglasses. The frames are a little cheap feeling, but the lenses are great. The lenses are, for the longest time, I would only buy like $10 Walmart sunglasses. And I didn't realize that you're supposed to be able to read your phone and like drive a car with sunglasses on. Because like my sunglass lenses were always like had been through the dryer and shit, and like I'm having to take them off to like see street signs. And now I get on these and I'm like, holy shit, I'm seeing in 4K.
Wow, I can actually see.
I know.
The other day I was washing my beard in the shower, and I had to wash it twice because I got 2 chocolate chips out of my beard when I was washing it. 2. It was like the grossest thing. And I wash my beard. Like I wash my beard. I brush beard oils in it. I take pretty good care of it, or else it looks like I'm electrocuted, like I do right now.
Uh-huh. Like, your eating habits are really pretty amusing to me. And I'm not even like the healthiest eater.
So from like
what we were saying on the
tell me what you think my eating habits are.
Well, you said it on episode 2 on the apocalypse when you said that you were going to stay somewhere with a concession stand. That's what you were going to live on.
I stand by that decision.
And I was like, you're just going to live on concession stand food for the rest of your life? And you're like, I pretty do now. And that's exactly, like, I came over and you're having toasted raviolis, which I'm not shitting on that. I eat a good amount of pizza and pizza rolls and,
oh yeah,
chicken fries and all that stuff. But, like, it's, you also are a lot busier than me. So, like, you don't like have as much time. Like you come home, you need food now so that you can start working on whatever like work from home shit you got, whatever project you got. But yeah, it's weird. Like when we were doing the workout sketch and you were saying how skinny you were, I don't notice you're that skinny, but you also like, you don't have to watch what you eat and you remain skinny. So why not keep doing it? You know? Did I ever tell you about when I almost rolled the ride-in lawnmower at the neighbor's house? It was on like it was a neighbors up the street from us, like the court there. They had a house they were trying to sell or like use as a rental home, but there was no one living there. And I was in early high school, maybe late grade school or something. And I need some scratch. And so I was cutting the grass for them. We got to ride in lawnmower, so it's easy as hell. And they have like a half wall thing in the backyard that like it's where there's a big hill, and so just halfway through the hill the wall all of a sudden cuts off and the lawnmower started to tip, and so I jumped off it like because the hill is really slanted and you're just not supposed to do everything I did, because I don't know any better, and there's a dangerous thing that happens, and remind me, I got another story about me and David moving. Dangerous thing that happens in my family where they think I know how to do things, and then they trust me with it, and then I end up hurting myself or breaking something.
I have spent several years making a stigma that I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, I always say...
And now people just don't depend on me to do things. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Every once in a while, like, Sarah will get mad at me because, like, it sounds like I'm talking to her like an idiot or mansplaining it, but I'm like, I'm just explaining it the exact way it was explained to me like a week ago. And I'm like, so I am explaining it to you as if you don't know anything because a week ago I didn't either. I'm like, so if you think I'm being disrespectful to you, someone was just disrespecting me and I'm just trying to be helpful, And so like I'm always like getting in trouble in those types of situations where I wasn't I wasn't thinking about the type of slope you can turn around on a riding lawnmower on a hill. And it started to tip down the hill. And so I jump off of the half wall to get under it, to get under the riding lawnmower. Fortunately, when you get off the seat, it kicks off right away. But it's still spinning for a bit.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And so it wasn't a good idea, but either way. And so I got like my shoulder.
Lock up your children. We've got a lawnmower on the loose.
So I got like my shoulder under it. And like the majority of the lawnmower's weight is on me. And I can like barely get my phone out of the pocket. Because I know David's at home. No one else is home. And so I called David and I'm like, David, come off the street right now. He's like, okay, give me a second. I'm like, David, I'm under the lawnmower. Time's a factor. And he's like, Jesus Christ. And he runs up there and he's like, just seeing like the lawnmower is halfway off a half wall. Two wheels, the right two wheels touching, the left two wheels not touching. And I'm under it. And he's like, how did this happen? How did you end up under the lawnmower?
And like to a point where you were just stuck there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, if David didn't answer, if he wasn't home, I'm like,
you probably would have broken the lawnmower because you would have just had to like toss it over.
Yeah, I couldn't lift it up all the way because it's like,
You would have kind of let it fall.
yeah, it would have just had to fall.
Would it have tumbled down the hill?
No, because it was like there's a hill, kind of like in a ranch house, there's a hill and then all of a sudden the hill is cut off and then it's a flat surface and that's the wall is holding up the rest of the hill.
Right.
So it would have fallen straight down off of the wall. And I couldn't push it over because you can't just push tires horizontally, You could push it, if it was
I mean, you can
front
if
to back.
you got the strength, Steve Cass.
No, you can't. And I couldn't. Regardless. And I was like, if David didn't answer, I'm like, do I just start calling out for the neighbors? I'm like, help! I'm like, do I call whoever I know that lives close?
Somebody help me!
I'm like, because I was like, do I have the endurance to even like, if I call someone over to come get me, how long can I hold this lawnmower here? It wouldn't have hurt me. I would have got out from under it. But the lawnmower, I don't know how much a riding lawnmower is, but enough that in high school I don't want to drop this thing off the wall.
They're.
I can imagine
they cost you a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
What kind of landscaping these people have? Is it like nice?
It was pretty nice. They would have been upset, and it kind of fucked up the yard. But it was a rental house, so she never went to go check out the home. So they're like, "You do a good job," and I'm like, "Best I've ever done." And
next guy used the lawnmower. Tell him to watch out. Turn number 3.
Yeah. No, it was pretty fucking terrifying. But anyway, so now me and David moving story. When David moved out of his apartment into his house, it was just like we would get things from apartment, bring them to the house, and then once we got enough things to the house, then everyone stayed there and was unpacking and setting up things and like my dad was like fixing something while me and David were just doing the trips because all that was left was the heavy stuff. And like the amount of just stupid shit that like we get in the truck, we load up the entire truck. We got things stacked up on top of there, like, the Grinch's fucking sled, like it's not gonna stay. And David starts backing up and he just goes, what am I doing? We didn't tie down any of that. And I'm like, yeah, I just saw you knew. He's like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, yeah, no, David, if you're here, I'm like, I don't bring it up. I just assume David's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He's real smart. And David hates it because he's like, he's like, the amount of things we do together is like, you're supposed to be like a co-pilot. You're supposed to be there so that if I make a small mistake, it's not catastrophic. And he's like, you need to point out. And I'm like, dude, the second I'm with David, my brain just turns off. Because I'm like, he's quarterback. He's handling this. We had a dresser flipped upside down. You know how a lot of dressers are stretched out long ways? They'll have 2 legs on the end. And then in the middle, they will have a third or a leg, some sort of support in the middle. Mm-hmm. So it'll kind of be arched.
Yeah.
Like to reach under it
yes.
a little bit. And so it's upside down. So I have that arch thing. It's a half circle. And I put the bungee cord around the half circle, not thinking it's not going to stay there. And I just start pulling really tight just to try to hook it on the back. It slides off, smacks my hat off. And smack the shit. And David's like, I saw you do that. And like, he was like, wait. And right as it comes off, smacks the hat off me. And it was another one, like the exact same day. David's like, Jesus Christ. He's like, I'm really on my own out here.
Are you ready for the Steve story of the week?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. my family just bought a new TV. This was a couple years ago when I was in college, and I was home for a month. This was Christmas break. My dad buys a new TV, and we're mounting it. My dad and my brother are putting it up, and I'm standing back.
Can I just interrupt and say, mounting a TV is one of my least favorite things.
Oh, I enjoy it when it's on like drywall. It's easy. It's not a big deal.
Mounted a TV, I think, 4 times in college, 3 times for Olivia, and like 1 time for myself. And it's so just terrifying because I'm like, if I fuck this up, for the next like 2 weeks, every time I get a phone call from Olivia, I'm thinking her TV's on the floor. You know, she came home and the TV is broken and on the floor.
Absolutely.
And the drywall's ripped out, and it is maybe me not being confident enough in my craftsmanship, but who knows, you know.
Well, I've got my brother and my dad working on this, who I think are pretty damn handy.
Yeah.
So I feel confident, obviously.
I'm sure dads just know how to do this shit. I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of David, you know, but I'm sure he knows more than you. He's a smart guy.
He's something. So I'm standing back like I always do when they are working on something. I never really get my hands dirty. Like unless they need me like go get something, like hey, go get the tape, go get the screwdriver. And I'm like, which one?
On it.
And I'm just like, I'll get them all. I'll get them all. Don't worry about it. And it takes me way too long to get them. I can never find them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm standing back and they're like, just make sure the TV is straight. You know, they're trying to get it perfect so they can get like, you know, just drill like some holes to like tell exactly where they're going to put the holes in the wall. And while they're doing it, this is a very embarrassing story for me, Adam. I have to tell you this.
Why not say it on, you know, this platform with thousands and thousands of listeners, you know?
Millions at this point.
Yeah, probably,
and,
as we're talking.
I thought I had a fart, and I pooped my pants while I'm standing there, and they're holding it. And
not at all where I expected this to. I thought it was going to be that, you didn't know the difference between a Phillips and a flathead, you fucking idiot. You know?
No. So I'm trying to create this visual. So I'm standing back by the stairs because it's like 15 feet back, and it's exactly center of where they're mounting the TV. And I just kind of like disappeared downstairs, and I threw my pants in the shower.
Yeah.
Cleaned up.
Whose house was this at?
My parents.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to leave for a concert in like 25 minutes.
Oh, no.
Put them in the shower, whatever. It's gross.
Yeah,
clean up,
ideal.
do it. And I realized, I started looking through my clothes. I didn't bring home one other pair of pants for a month. I forgot all my pants.
You were home from college.
I was home for Christmas break. I didn't bring home one other pair of pants for a month. It was -3 degrees that night.
And you wore shorts?
Well, no.
Dave's not that much taller than you.
He's 6'6".
Is he really?
I'm 5'10".
David's 6'6"?
Yeah.
I thought he was like 6'3", which even then... He's not 6'6". 6'6" is insane.
He's 6'4.5" or 6'5" then.
Wild.
He's taller than my dad. My dad's 6'3".
Your dad's 6'3"? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm the short one in the family.
Yeah, that sucks. But
anyway,
I knew David was tall.
So they're
God
still...
damn.
Let me take you back to this.
Yeah.
The story gets even better. So they're still holding the TV, and they're like, Steve, is the TV straight? Steve. And I was just gone.
You're nowhere
they
to be
had
seen.
no idea. So I get upstairs, and I was like, Dave, I'm sorry. I pooped my pants. And I always have an excuse when something pops up. And he's like you. Like, he's heard all my jokes. He, like, doesn't believe anything in it. He's just like, yeah, sure you did. Yeah. And, like, he was like, okay, Steve. Like, okay. And, like, a couple minutes later, I was like, I don't have pants. Like, the only pants that I have, I just pooped in. He was like, wait, you actually pooped your pants? I was like, yeah. He was like, I thought you just, like, went downstairs to go to the bathroom or something. And I was like, no. Like, I full on went to the bathroom, and I don't have another pair of pants. So he was like, here, dude, try these. They were gigantic on me. So my mom's like, well, here. She, like, unpacks one of my Christmas presents. She already wrapped it and everything. And
That's
she's like,
hilarious.
here, this is one of your Christmas presents. A couple days later, I had to drive up to school to get all my pants. And that was the time Sam Agrippas came to school with me.
Oh,
we went to get my
you
pants.
were going to get your pants.
We
yeah.
had to go get my pants.
How many times have you pooped your pants?
Just 2.
Just 2.
Yeah, the other story was pretty funny as well, but we don't need to get into that yet. We'll save that for
We'll save it.
We'll save that for next week.
Don't burn up all your poop stores.
I just figured this. you and I happen to bring up the word poop quite often.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
a
figured
fun
I
one.
had to tell that story. That's too good of a story not to tell.
That's a great one.
I contemplated for a couple minutes because it's pretty embarrassing.
It's pretty funny though. Ooh, that's tough. That's really enjoyable. That makes me happy.
Every time I see that TV now, I think of it.
Yeah. That's
And that new pair of pants that my mom bought me for Christmas, they were some of the best pants I have. I still wear them to this day.
yeah. My dad has all this shit that like he'll get nicer stuff and he's like, I'll hold on to this until David, Adam, and Sarah move into houses, you know. And
My parents have a bunch of stuff in their basement. doing the
so
same thing.
but now he's gonna shoot his wad and like give all of it to David before I get a house. And like I was at David's the other day. Do you know what a monster mall is?
No.
It's a that might be the brand, but it's a sledgehammer with a that's like had a point on it, and it's for splitting wood most of the time.
Okay.
And it's heavier than a sledgehammer. This thing's probably like fucking 60 pounds. You don't even have to swing it. You just have to get it up and let it fall, and you can split anything. And my dad's had it.
And what's it called?
It's called a monster mall.
That's the coolest name I've ever
I know
heard.
it's a great name. And my dad's had the same one. It's like it's painted orange, but it's all rusted. Everything but like the very bottom of the handle where you don't know
Real
more.
men don't need paint on their tools.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
comes off. What are you gonna repaint it? Like,
No.
it's a sledgehammer. You know?
No.
But metal handle.
Would I be able to pick this thing up and operate it? Am I strong enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ridiculously heavy, but it's heavy enough. And I was at David's the other day, and I see his garage. I'm like, did Dad give you the monster ball? And he's like, Dad gave me the monster ball. And I'm like, the fuck am I going to get? Goddamn grandma's wedding ring? I'm like, this is horseshit. I'm like, he's going to have nothing left to give me. He's like, no, that thing's an heirloom. He's like, I felt like Dad handed me the monster ball. He's like, in the old cowboy movies, when the dad hands the son the rifle, he's like, you got to defend the family against the Apache now.
At that point, you might as well just be like, here's the keys to the house and mom.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, this is fucking bullshit. Am I going to get mom's jewelry after they die? I'm like, David gets the monster ball. I don't want anything else in the house. This is
Here's
bullshit.
my 3rd grade report card.
Really, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. I don't get the monster ball. I do so much. I can split wood like a son of a bitch.
Well, and you were just saying the other day how much more you do around the house than David.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't listen to this either. He doesn't support me.
Oh, okay.
And so, don't worry. Well, that probably sounds great on that.
Yeah, have fun listening to that with headphones on later.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to just add extra editing, just rubbing your beard on the mic. But either way, thank you for listening. If you guys listen this far, tune in later to the Standing Up Podcast.
you. We